So I'm going to start the discussion today with a review of what we have covered last week. So last week, we already started on the process of cell division. So sabi natin, in the cell cycle, we have two phases, yung interphase at saka yung M phase. And during the interphase stage, the cell is not undergoing cell division. Basically, what it does is that it is just preparing for cell division. So maraming kailangang i-prepare yung cell before it can actually go into what we call as this cell division. At yung maliit na part na yon, yung M phase na makikita ninyo sa cell cycle, yun lang yung part of the cell's life wherein it is actually dividing. So majority of the time, around 90% of the time, the cell is not dividing. It is preparing for cell division. And then yung remaining 10% of its life, that's when it is actually dividing. So we call that the M phase. Kasi yung ating cell division, we have two kinds, yung mitosis at saka yung meiosis. So it starts with the letter M. That's why in the cell cycle, yung phase wherein the cell is actually dividing or actively dividing is called the M phase. Okay, so last week, what we discussed is about the topic of mitosis. And sabi natin, mitosis is the kind of cell division that happens in our somatic cells. So when we say somatic cells, these are what we call as body cells. So basically, lahat ng cells in your body except for the cells produced by the reproductive organ. So the cells found in your hair, in your nails, in your muscles, in your heart, all of those are somatic cells. And the kind of cell division that happens in these kinds of cells are what we call as mitosis. Okay, so bakit nga ba kailangan mag-divide ng cell? Sabi natin, the cell has to divide because we have to grow in terms of number of cells from a unicellular organism. Nung nag-fertilize yung egg at saka yung sperm cell, we started as a unicellular organism. And this single cell started to divide until we became a multicellular organism that we are now. So we are composed of millions of cells, and these cells are produced by actively dividing yung mitotic cell division. And then of course, may mga cells in our body na namamatay, nasisira, kailangan palitan. So yung kapalit ng mga yon is produced through the process of mitosis. So for example, ang red blood cells natin, may limit lang ang kanyang lifespan. It can only live up to 180 days. After that, the red blood cell will have to be destroyed by the liver. So saan kukuha ng kapalit doon sa nag-expire na red blood cell? Of course, from mitosis ulit. So lahat ng repair, fixing, lahat ng mga nasirang cell tissues, especially yung sa skin, lahat ng mga yon, napuproduce yung kapalit nila, yung pang-fix dun sa mga areas na yon because of what we call as mitosis. And sabi natin, mitosis is composed of 4 phases. Yung acronym natin na PMAT, PMAT. So ito siya under the compound microscope at saka yung kanyang itsura sa drawing. Okay? So in this part of the stage, ito ay interphase. So in this cell, hindi siya nag-undergo ng cell division. So kung mapapansin ninyo, the nuclear envelope is still visible here. And then your DNA, they are in their linear form. Wala pa silang chromosomes or hindi pa sila nagfo-form ng chromosomes. So this is what it looks like under the compound microscope. Okay, so parang nasa gitna lang sila and then very granulated yung itsura niya. Okay, so this is interphase. So during this time, the cell is preparing to undergo cell division. Okay, so when pag na-check na siya or nakalampas na siya doon sa checkpoint where it says that it can now go and it can continue dividing, that's when it will go to mitosis. And the first phase of mitosis is what we call as your prophase. So during the prophase stage, this is what it usually looks like. Ang unang mapapansin ninyo is that the DNA, originally, they are in their linear form. It will start to supercoil and condense to form what you call as your chromosomes. So pagdating dito, itong DNA, nagiging chromosomes na siya. Nagdidikit-dikit sila, they condense and they supercoil to form these chromosomes. Okay? So kung mapapansin ninyo, originally granulated ang itsura niya under the compound microscope. Pagdating dito, may mga structures na kayong makikita. Okay? And in this part, it is still in the middle of the cell, pero unti-unting mawawala yung ating nuclear membrane. So kung mapapansin nyo dito, the nuclear membrane is starting to disintegrate. Nagdi-disappear na sila unti-unti para ma-free yung mga chromosomes inside the cell. Okay? Para nandun na sila sa cytoplasm and they are free to mingle with the other organelles of the cell. Okay? Other than that, hindi masyadong nakikita sa compound microscope, pero we have what we call as your centrosomes. And these centrosomes will form these mitotic spindle fibers. So ayan yung mga lines dyan. These are the spindle fibers that is produced by the centromere. So dalawang centrosomes yan on opposite sides of the cell. So isang centrosome dito at saka isang centrosome on this side. So both centrosomes will now form these spindle fibers. So mag-e-extend yan until it can attach doon sa chromosomes. Saan siya mag-a-attach? Doon sa centromere ng chromosomes. So yung centromere, yan yung gitnang part ng chromosome kung saan sila magkadikit. So in this part, dyan, at saka dyan. Dyan nag-a-attach yung spindle fibers. Okay? So pag naka-attach na itong mga spindle fibers doon sa centromere ng chromosomes, it will go into the next phase, which is what we call as your metaphase. So metaphase is letter M, and it starts, ang clue word niya is middle. So pag naka-attach na itong spindle fiber sa centromere, it will arrange the chromosomes into the middle of the cell. So kung makikita ninyo dito sa drawing, lahat ng chromosomes, they are aligned here in the middle of the cell. The same here under the compound microscope. Lahat ng chromosomes naka-arrange na siya doon sa gitna ng cell. They start to line up hanggang sa ma-achieve niya na yung perfect line in the middle of the cell. So pag nandun na siya sa gitna, it will go to the next phase of your mitosis, which is anaphase. So anaphase, again, it starts with the letter A because this is the phase of mitosis where your chromosomes are pulled away or pulled apart from each other. So how is this achieved? Nag-contract or lumiliit yung inyong mga spindle fibers. So habang lumiliit siya, naka-attach pa rin siya doon sa centromere. So it is able to migrate. So nahihila niya itong mga chromosomes away from each other to opposite poles. So itong set na to will go on this side. And then itong set na to will go on the other side. Okay? So until it reaches the opposite pole. So kung makikita nyo dito, okay, so kung makikita nyo dito, oops, forward siya. Okay. Nakahiwalay na itong isang set ng chromosome and then nakahiwalay na rin itong isang set ng chromosome. So they are being pulled away from each other until it reaches the opposite side of the cell. Okay? And then we go to the last part of the mitosis. So in this stage, your chromosomes are already on opposite sides of the cell. So pag na-reach niya na yung opposite sides of the cell, the nuclear membrane will start to come back. So kung mapapansin niyo dito sa drawing, meron na ulit siyang nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope. At pagka meron na siyang nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope, from chromosomes, mag-a-uncoil na siya, babalik na siya dun sa kanyang linear form. So, ang itsura ng DNA dito almost kapareho na ng itsura dito sa interface. At the same time, meron tayong tinatawag na pinching na nangyayari dito. So, nagkakaroon na ng parang separation into this single cell. So, nagkakaroon na ng separate line dyan. Okay? And until ma-reach niya yung end of the cell hanggang completely mag-separate na itong isang cell na to form what we call as two daughter cells. So, yun yung tinatawag nating cytokinesis. Okay? So, that is the end of mitosis. So, now let's go to the next or the second kind of cell division, which is what we call as meiosis. So, meiosis is a bit similar to mitosis, but it is also different from mitosis. And later on, we will be learning about yung differences ng mitosis sa meiosis. So, let's continue. Before we go to what we call as meiosis, again, i-review natin that we have two kinds of cells in our body. The first one is what we call as somatic cells. So these somatic cells are what we call as body cells. So sila yung matatagpuan into the different parts of your body. Pero for us humans, we also have what we call as germ cells or sex cells. Okay? So on other people, they call it the sex gametes or just gametes. So sa babae, ang gametes na napuproduce ng katawan ninyo is your egg cell. Whereas for the males, ang sex cells na napuproduce ng male body is yung sperm cells. So yun yung tinatawag nating sex cells. And these gametes or these sex cells do not divide ng mitosis. Ang kanilang cell division ay meiosis. So for example, your hair, mitosis yan. Yung muscles niyo, mitosis yan. Yung inyong cells in your nails, mitosis yan. Pero yung cells that is produced ng reproductive system ninyo is produced through the process of meiosis. Okay, so magkaiba sila according to the type of cells. And sabi dito, for mitosis kasi, at the end of mitosis, you are producing two daughter cells. And these daughter cells are identical to each other. So sabi natin, when we say identical, ibig sabihin genetically they are the same. They have the same set of DNA. They have the same set of genes in the same order. Pero pagdating sa meiosis, hindi ganon ang napoproduce niya. At the end of meiosis, a single parent cell will produce 4 daughter cells. 4 ang napoproduce niya. Pero yung daughter cells na napoproduce niya is unique. Hindi siya identical to each other. Actually, magkakaiba yung genes, yung arrangement ng 4 daughter cells na yon. They are different from each other. At the same time, yung daughter cells na napoproduce niya is haploid in number. Ibig sabihin, it only has 1/2 of the DNA. Pag mitosis, it produces the same number of genes. For example, diploid yung parent, after mitosis, it will produce 2 daughter cells that is also diploid in number. So kung meron siyang 46 na chromosomes, yung anak niya meron ding 46 chromosomes. But in meiosis, it is not the case. Yung 4 daughter cells will only have 23 chromosomes, which is half of the number. So we call it as haploid. So to make that a bit clearer, so for example, this is interphase. So we have the blue chromosomes, dalawa, tapos meron tayong red chromosomes. And then this will undergo DNA replication. Ibig sabihin, madodoble. So kung merong 4 dito, after the DNA replication, dapat merong 8 kasi magiging times 2 siya. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 na yung blue. Originally, 2 lang siya. After DNA synthesis or DNA replication, naging 4 na siya. Pagdating sa red, Dalawa lang siya originally, pero after DNA synthesis, magiging 4 siya. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? And then, during the first phase of meiosis, nagkakaroon na siya ng changing or exchange of DNA. So kung mapapansin nyo dito, itong kulay blue na to, itong kulay blue na chromosome na to, may isang part siya na may kulay red. Tapos itong kulay blue na to, meron din siyang kulay red pero on the other side, magkaiba sila. Okay? And then ito ring red, meron siyang kulay blue this side, meron din siyang this side. So ibig sabihin, doon pa lang sa first phase of meiosis, nagkakaroon na ng exchange or palitan ng DNA. So magkakaiba na sila ulit. And then it will undergo division or mangangalahati na siya. So from 4 dito, 8 ito, 8N ang kanyang chromosome number. Magdi-divide siya into 2. So each daughter cell will have a 4N when it comes to chromosome number. Tapos itong 4N na chromosome number na to, it will undergo another cell division, meiosis ulit, and then from 4N, magiging 2N na lang siya. So kung mapapansin niyo dito, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. So based on the colors, if you can notice, iba-iba talaga sila ng itsura. Hindi sila magkakapareho. Kasi nga, meiosis produces 4 daughter cells that are completely different from each other. So itong first daughter cell, iba ang itsura niya or iba yung genes na meron siya dito sa pangalawa, iba rin siya sa pangatlo, at iba rin siya sa pang-apat. Okay, so magkakaiba ang itsura nila. And meiosis is actually the reason why even yung mga magkakapatid or even yung mga fraternal twins or mga kambal, bakit nga ba magkapatid sila or kambal sila pero hindi naman sila magkamukhang magkamukha? Meron silang mga aspects or meron silang mga, anong tawag dito? Facial features na mapapansin mong magkaiba sila. So kung i-example natin yung ating kambal sa school, si NJ tsaka si JN, at first glance, pag hindi ka sanay, magkamukha sila. Pero pag nasanay na yung mata mo, mapapansin mo na merong mga facial features which allows you to identify na, okay, siya si Jaira. Tapos ito, siya si Shama. Magkaiba sila. Lalo na pag-use na kayo na nakikita sila, madali nang i-identify. Not just when it comes to behavior at ugali, pero even yung physical characteristics, magkaiba sila. Kasi although they are from the same parent, meron pa rin silang magkaiba because of meiosis. So even yung mga magkakapatid, meron kayong features na pare-pareho kayo pero may features na magkakaiba. So kaya nga sabi nila, everyone is unique kasi hindi pwedeng pareho kayo ng DNA sequence na makukuha ng kapatid mo. Maaaring ikaw ang nakuha mo ito, maaaring ikaw ang nakuha niya ito. So the chances of you being the same with your sibling or with another person is very, very low. And that is because our sex cells are dividing through the process of meiosis. So we'll discuss that in detail. So again, i-emphasize ko yung ibig sabihin ng haploid and diploid. Okay? So when we talk about haploid or diploid, we are talking about what we call as the chromosome number. Ito na pala, nakasulat na pala siya. So pag haploid kasi, ang ibig sabihin niyan is N. Ibig sabihin, you only have one set of the gametes. Kalahati lang ang meron sa'yo. Pagdating sa diploid, ibig sabihin, you have 2 sets of the gametes. Ibig sabihin, kumpleto yung makukuha mo. So yung sex cells, yung sperm cell at saka yung egg cell, they are haploid in number. Okay, so sabi dito, gametes are haploid in number. Bakit kailangan siyang maging half? Kasi if you will go back to the reproductive system, di ba, mag-fertilize yung egg cell at saka yung sperm cell. So, N plus N is equivalent to 2N. So haploid yung sperm cell, it has 1/2 of the genes, and then 1/2 yung egg cell because it has half of the genes. If you combine the egg cell and the sperm cell, then you are creating a zygote that is diploid in number. So kompleto na yung kanyang chromosome number. So it's a combination of your parents kasi. Kaya importante na ang mga gametes, they are haploid in number. Can you imagine if yung sperm cell ay 2N, tapos yung egg cell ay 2N, so ang mapoproduce mo na zygote is already 4N. Sobra-sobra na yung chromosomes na nandoon sa zygote. And later on, you will learn na anything na sobra or anything na kulang when we talk about chromosomes or when we talk about genes is actually masama. The body has to regulate na ang napoproduce niya lang supposedly as much as possible ay 2N. Equal, kumbaga one set, complete set of the chromosomes. Kapag sumobra na doon, then that's already a chromosomal abnormality. Pag kulang na din siya doon, then that is also a chromosomal abnormality. So meiosis has to happen in your sex cells para makalahati niya yon, at pag nag-fuse na sila later on during the fertilization stage, sapat na yung chromosome number nung mabubuo na zygote. Okay? So ang somatic cells or body cells are diploid in number, pero ang ating sex cells is haploid in number. So let's put that into drawing para mas naiintindihan. Okay? So this is what we call as a homologous pair of chromosome. So when we talk about homologous pair, ibig sabihin merong 4 na set ng DNA. This is one set, this is another set, the third set, and the fourth set. Okay? So pag nag-first division ng meiosis, ang naghihiwalay ay yung homologous pairs. Pero during the second meiotic cell division, ang naghihiwalay na ay yung sister chromatids. So later on, we will show kung ano yung drawing niya. Ito. Okay? So, wait lang, alisin ko to para makita. Nakikita ba yung karyotype ng kompleto? Pa-double check ako para alam ko kung ano yung i-adjust ko. Nakikita yung karyotype on this side ng kompleto? Hindi po. Rain, ano ang hindi nakikita?
Putol siya, Chair.
How about ngayon? Ngayon, putol pa din?
Yung iba, Chair.
Okay. Hindi ko makita. Paano ba yun? Ayan. Sana hindi naputol kasi nilipat ko na siya lahat sa gilid. Okay. So this is what we call as karyotype. So when we talk about karyotype, ibig sabihin, this is the chromosomes in your body and they try to arrange it in pairs. Tapos naka-arrange siya from the biggest hanggang doon sa pinaka-maliit. So this is what we call as a karyotype. Okay? So ito yung diploid number na karyotype. Okay? So kung mapapansin niyo, may isang chromosome dito. This is chromosome number 1. This is chromosome number 2. This is chromosome number 3 hanggang chromosome number 23. So kung mapapansin niyo yung pinakamaliit, ito yung sex cell. So this is a male karyogram, X and Y. Maliit po talaga yung chromosome, Y chromosome. Mas malaki yung X chromosome because it contains more genes. Kaya majority of the genes na nakukuha ng anak comes from the mother. That's why it's very important for you men to choose kung sino ang magiging magulang ng anak ninyo. Kasi majority of the genes comes from the women. So kung ang pipiliin ninyo ay ganitong uri ng babae, majority of her genes, yun ang may expect mo sa magiging anak mo. So, kailangan pagpilian ng mabuti yan. Okay? So, in this part of the karyotype, Okay, so meron siyang complete set. This is diploid in number. So merong isang chromosome, chromosome number 2, chromosome number 3. Pagdating dito sa pangalawang drawing, ito yung tinatawag nilang homologous pairs. So the homologous pairs happens during interphase when the cell is doubling the number of DNA. So kailangan mag-replicate siya, di ba? Kasi sabi natin, pag nag-divide siya, kailangan both cells will have the same set of chromosome. So kung mapapansin nyo dito sa homologous pair, itong chromosome number 1, meron siyang dalawang chromosome. Compared mo siya dito, iisa lang ang chromosome niya. Okay? Kasi this is the part where the DNA replicates itself. It has to double itself. Para pag nag-divide siya, yung daughter 1 will have 1 chromosome and then daughter 2 will have the second chromosome. So the same with chromosome number 2, dalawa yan. Whereas dito, iisa lang. Pagdating dito, tatlo yan. Dito, iisa lang. Okay? So, in which of these karyotype, wait lang, nasan yung aking, wait lang ah. Ayaw na mag-arrow. Okay, so the question here is, which of the top 2 karyotypes, saan sa dalawa dito, is it replicated? The answer is ito. Replicated to kasi dalawa yung chromosomes. Ibig sabihin, may photocopy nung isa. So, double siya. How many homologous pairs in each karyotype? Dito, merong 23 homologous pairs. Okay? And then, itong bottom karyotype, kung mapapansin nyo, iba siya. Kasi, this one is already haploid in number. The first 2 karyotypes are diploid in number. Pero ito, kung mapapansin nyo, kalahati lang yung chromosome number 1. Dito, isang buo. Pagdating dito, kalahati na lang. The same here, kalahati na lang siya. Kalahati na lang. Kasi itong pangatlong karyotype na to, this is an example of a haploid karyogram. Ibig sabihin, this is for a sex cell na mag-undergo na kakatapos ng meiosis. So magkakaiba siya. At the start of mitosis, ito ang itsura niya, madodoble siya. At the end of mitosis, ito pa rin siya. So walang nagbago dun sa parent at saka sa offspring. At the start of meiosis, ito siya, magre-replicate, but at the end of meiosis, ito na siya, kalahati na lang. So magkaiba na yung parent at saka yung offspring. From diploid to haploid na siya. So magkaiba yon sa mitosis at saka sa meiosis. Mitosis, we are producing diploid daughter cells. In meiosis, we are producing haploid daughter cells. So kalahati lang yung DNA na meron sila. Okay? So bakit nga daw kailangan na i-haploid siya? Kasi nga sabi ko sa inyo, you are a combination of the genes of both of your parents. So yung kalahati of your genes or the half of your genes comes from your mother. So sabi dito, comes from Louis. The other comes from Peter, and because of that, we produce the offspring, which is Stewie. Okay, so kalahati plus kalahati, we form one offspring. Okay, so that's the reason why it is important for the sex cells to undergo meiosis. Okay, so this is sexual reproduction in humans. So this is the sperm cell, which contains half of the gametes, 23, and this is the egg cell, which contains the other half of the gametes, 23. So if I'm going to add 23 from the sperm cell and 23 coming from the egg cell, then I will form a human offspring with 46 chromosomes. So diploid na siya. Okay? After fertilization, the zygote is already diploid. Pero originally, your gametes are haploid in number. So your gametes undergo meiosis or meiotic cell division. Okay? So in meiosis, we are forming your sex cells. So para makalahati niya or para ma-haploid niya yung mga gametes, there is what we call as meiosis 1 and what we call as meiosis 2. So meiosis 1, it produces 2 daughter cells. Pero pag after ng meiosis 2, it already produces 4 daughter cells. And the daughter cells are haploid in number. So nakakalahati niya because it undergoes cell division 2 times. Meiosis 1 at saka meiosis 2. Okay? So kung yung mitosis, magpo-prophase siya, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, cytokinesis, and then tapos na sa meiosis, hindi. Uulit-ulit siya. So kung mapapansin nyo dito, this is telophase 1. After telophase 1, it will go back to prophase 2. Metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2, hanggang sa it undergoes cytokinesis, which produces 4 haploid daughter cells. Okay, so we will be talking about this stage by stage. Okay, double check ko yung slide. Okay, balik. Okay, so if this is interphase, so this is the part where your cell is preparing for cell division. After that, this is G1, diba? So lumaki na yung kanyang size, nag-double na yung kanyang organelles. And then after that, it will undergo the S phase. So during the S phase, nagdo-double yung ating DNA. So ayan na siya. From originally 4, naging 8 na yung chromosomes here in this S phase. And then after that, it will continue to G2 phase and then continue na siya sa cell division. So in this case, prophase 1, kapareho lang siya ng mitosis. You have your centromeres here, mali, centrosomes here, and it produces the spindle fibers. And then your DNA here is in their chromosome form, hindi siya naka-linear form. And then at this part, meron pang nuclear membrane, pero hindi na siya, unti-unti na siyang mag-divide or mawawala, mag-disappear later on. Okay? And then during prophase 1, this is something that you will not see in mitosis. We have what we call as crossing over. Let me double check my slides. Wait lang Wala. So when we say crossing over, ibig sabihin, the chromosomes are near each other to the point that they overlap each other. And when they overlap, that's when the exchange of the genes happen. Wait lang. I have to check for a picture. Wait lang . Okay. Okay, so this is what crossing over looks like. Okay, so originally these are the homologous chromosomes. Okay, this is during interphase, and then during prophase, we have what we call as crossing over. So kung mapapansin ninyo, the blue chromosome here overlaps with the red chromosome. And when they overlap, they start to exchange genes. Nagpapalitan sila ng genes. So at the end of your crossing over, itong kulay blue na chromosome, it already has some of the genes coming from the red chromosome. And then opposite naman, itong red chromosome na to, at the end of crossing over, meron na siya nitong kulay blue. So, somehow, nabago na yung arrangement ng kanilang genes. So, kaya nagkakaroon ng, hindi na sila magkapareho at the end of the crossing over. So, pag nag-divide sila, nahati na itong dalawa, ito ay puro blue lang. This is the first daughter cell, kulay blue lang siya. Yung pangalawang daughter cell, may red na siya. Yung pangatlong daughter cell, may kulay blue. And then yung pang-apat na daughter cell ay puro red lang siya. Kaya nga sabi natin, di ba, at the end of meiosis, it produces 4 daughter cells that are unique or different from each other. So magkaiba talaga sila. So yan yung magiging itsura niya at the end of meiosis. Ito yung isang cell, ito yung pangalawang cell, ito yung pangatlong cell, at ito yung pang-apat na cell. Kaya magkakaiba talaga ang magkakapatid. Even yung mga kambal, magkaibang